there, my name is Thomas Krallo, and as always, welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all things trading, finances, money in general, and not only. Now, today the topic of us, me and Sofia, moving to Dubai, and it's been quite a lengthy process, and quite a few people have been asking me why that is, why are we moving to Dubai, why not, I don't know, Switzerland, or why not Germany or United States, why exactly Dubai? Now, there are a few obvious reasons why would we choose a place like Dubai, and if any of you are into business and are in the world of business, then you will already know the answer, and that's of course for the tax purposes. So I have never been a guy to hide this reasoning. So obviously for the tax purposes, I do own a company in Dubai. I also own a company in the United States. I used to own a company in Latvia, and etc. So currently the ones that I'm using are United States, Latvia, and well, a few others, but those are irrelevant for today's topic. Obviously, so yeah, the tax purposes, and in Dubai, and I've been a resident of Dubai for a long time. So I've never been a resident of Latvia. I mean, I've owned real estate here, but I've never been a per se permanent resident and a taxpayer here by any means. I've been a taxpayer in different places, and in the recent time it was and is Dubai, because in Dubai, as you might know, depending on the kind of business that you're doing, you can get away with paying zero tax. So it's absolutely legal, especially for the free zone companies. So you pay zero tax. So you make $1 million, that $1 million is yours. So that's always something that I've always liked about Dubai. This is a simple reason, just like the weather. You know, the weather in Dubai is fantastic. Some people love it, some people hate it. I do personally like it very much, because the weather in Dubai, it's super hot and it's a desert, so it can be a little bit dry sometimes, and there's a lot of sand, obviously, so a lot of dust, but I do like that, you know, palm trees and all of that, you know, nice vibe, which also, you know, you can get the same in Florida or California, but Dubai is absolutely suitable, except for the summer. In the summer, it can get very, very hot, above 50 degrees Celsius. So for the summer, we can always come back to Europe, to Latvia, or to Switzerland, where I've spent a lot of my time as well. But for the time being, Dubai is just fine. So it's also a nice place to buy things. So it's also a cheaper place to buy things like watches, cars, certain clothes, and etc. So all of that nonsense stuff is ever so slightly cheaper. For example, a Rolex dealer was gonna be at least about 10-20% cheaper in Dubai than, for example, in Germany or United States. Well, I'm not that sure about the United States, but Europe for sure. And it's just is that when you're coming to Dubai, one of the cheapest places to buy Rolex is going to be the DXB, the Dubai International Airport, and you'll always get one of the best prices on the good selection on the different Rolex models. So it's also a reason. But then there are reasons that are a little bit more intrinsic, and that me and Sofia, we value those reasons a lot more than the ones that were previously mentioned. And those are, for one, it's the atmosphere. So the general spectrum of vibrations that are happening at any given moment in Dubai is just el dente, as Italians say, in terms of the readiness of spaghetti in the pot. It's el dente, it's perfecto, it's perfection, because the Dubai is the place of big money. So, and that's the atmosphere. So when you go to Sol, S-O-L, I believe the name was, in Burj Al Arab, that's the 7-star hotel, the beach club, which is called Sol, where we like to go with Sofia. You go into the place where every other person is a multi-millionaire, and this is the type of the atmosphere that I like. I like to look at those people. I like to share a table with those people. I do enjoy that vibration, that general atmosphere, that feeling of success. It's not just money, so it's not just monetary cash, euros, dollars, that good old Franklin. It's not just that, it's also just the general feel of it. The mood is nice, it's, you know, it's inspirational when you just, you know, communicate. Those of you who have been in these kinds of circumstances and among these people and such places, you will know exactly what I mean. Some people say that, you know, those people are snobby, etc., and some of them are for sure. But that openness, that freedom, that carelessness about everything in life, is that the taste, that the best way I could describe that taste of that atmosphere and the feeling of those places in Dubai where everybody is wealthy, happy, and moving on, looking for more progress. Now you're gonna scream at me and say that there are a lot of poor people in Dubai. For sure, absolutely, there is a huge gap between rich and poor in Dubai. If you take off from Burj Khalifa in downtown and just drive about 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you'll see a lot of poor people. It's not. There are some regions and areas of Dubai and any other emirate, and especially other emirates, that are quite poor, unfortunately. But still, if you compare Latvia, for example, our eastern, northern Europe, and Dubai, that's a completely, different story. In Latvia, you have a Bentley, like for me, for example, and you're driving on the street, and sometimes I dealt with this kind of a block in my head, but I did feel strange sometimes because people would have that judgmental look on their face. Because in Latvia, if you have a Bentley, people think that you're a criminal, that you're a crook, or that you're a politician, which means that you're a crook, and etc., etc. So you're a bad person, and everybody's so judgmental. Oh, look, there is a Bentley. There's a Bentley driver, and in Dubai, it's not like that. I mean, you can have a Bugatti Chiron, and nobody. I mean, people are gonna say, "Awesome car, man." And in Latvia, they'll say, yeah, it's an awesome car, and I'll scratch it the first chance I bloody get, so this cock-sucking millionaire can get at least some taste of my bad life, and my anger towards the whole fucking universe. So that's the feeling that I started to get in Latvia in the recent months and years as well, that it's a very, unfortunately, I love the place, I love the nature, I do have some friends here and some family here. And I do like both nationalities that are in this whole country, and unfortunately they're battling for whatever reason, stupidest reasons ever, and there is that ongoing national bullcrap that is happening here, which I'm not gonna talk about in this video. But unfortunately, the bad stuff are the negative vibrations, and when you're in those negative vibrations every day, there are clouds, it's gray, it's cold, you go out, sure, maybe you're sitting in the Bentley like myself, but it still is depressing. It's depressive. You look at people who want to eat you alive because you're in the car that they will probably never afford, or they believe they will never afford, and that's, again, that stuff about limiting beliefs and limiting your own existence, etc. So yeah, that's the biggest part. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable in this country in general, and to be honest, I just don't want to be pissing people off anymore. I just want to go to a place where I can buy anything I want for any amount of money, and I can walk around with a $100,000 watch on my wrist without being afraid that somebody is gonna chop off my hand. And that's pretty much the feeling that I get sometimes in Latvia, and I do have quite a few different watches, a lot of which are not getting any use in Latvia at all, and for quite a lot of time until now they have been in a safety deposit box in a bank. So I'm not keeping anything inside the apartment, even though it's a really safe place, a really safe building, but I'm still not keeping anything here just for the purposes of people not having any reason to do anything stupid, so to speak. So in general, it's not exactly the free life, the free the sense of freedom, unfortunately. So, and this also reflects on your well-being, on your emotional state. And when it reflects on your well-being, emotional state, your overall, the frequency of your vibrations, etc., that also influences your performance. You are not capable of performing as highly as you could. In Dubai, I always have energy. I'm always ready to scream and sing and dance and make some money and spend some money and just lose some money somewhere. Fine. And I'm always ready to sleep like 4 hours, do a lot of work, speak to my students, and do a shit ton of work. But in Latvia, whenever I come back, I still have some vitamin D in my blood. But then after about 3-4 weeks, I'm just waking up at 11 a.m. I'm working until maybe 11 p.m. and I just pretty much feel like laying on this table and sleeping for the next 24 hours because I have zero energy. And I make myself go to the gym, or I have the gym here in the office. I make myself work out. So I have to make myself do things quite often. And that is because of the general atmosphere. So, and this, I believe, is the most important reason why we are moving to Dubai. Is in one of the previous really powerful videos. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. As I have mentioned, it's all about your surrounding, the part of it. So your success and your future depends on your surrounding quite a lot, and one of which is the people that you surround yourself with, but it's also about the general surrounding. When everybody around you is negative, full of limiting beliefs, angry, jealous, and etc., that even if you are an emotionally strong person like myself or Sofia, we're still slowly, but we do get dragged down into that pitfall of nonsense. So we do have to constantly go back to nice places like Dubai, for example, and recharge our batteries. So that's also a good advice for you. If you can afford it, if you can do it, then always try to find that nicer place with nicer vibrations. But of course, Dubai, I mean, if you will ever ask me in terms of the drawbacks of Dubai, and there are quite a few, and one of the main ones, it's not a cheap place. So of course, it's not as expensive as Monaco or New York or maybe even Moscow, but it does get quite costly. The prices for rent in Dubai are 5 times, 6 times, 7 times more expensive than Latvia and, for example, some European countries and cities. But it's totally worth it for just the general sense of amazing mindsets that are all over the place. So many celebrities and tech geniuses are in Dubai. So it is always a place to find new connections and get inspired, because even myself, I'm just at the start of my life's journey, even in terms of business, and I'm always looking to power my batteries to just be as highly performing as I can possibly be. And that's what I always recommend to all of my friends, followers, fans, subscribers, etc. So yeah, thank you for watching. As always, link to the webinar, trading webinar, down in the description. And if you're looking to become my affiliate partner, then the link to affiliate program, partnership program, also in the description. And please like the video, and I'll see you in the next videos.